Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, and in today's video we're talking about TfL being thieving bastards. So sit back, relax, grab yourselves a cup of tea and let us get into the video. So ladies and gents, how are we all doing? I hope you're doing well. And as the title of the video suggests, we are talking about TfL being thieving bastards. What I mean by that, I shall explain. Basically, as of tomorrow, the 27th of June 2022, the government have given TfL exclusive powers to fine people upwards of £160 for crossing into the cycle lane that is covered by a solid white line. Now you're probably wondering, why in fuck's name are they doing that? Get this. Even the Mayor of London, who chairs the TfL, has said that TfL is strapped for cash. So they are trying to make money out of the normal road user, i.e. you and me and every other poor fucker that happens to have a vehicle. TfL are trying to do us dirty. I mean us as in like near enough every normal road user, that if we cross over a solid white line that separates a cycle lane from a normal lane, i.e. something like you're seeing there, if it is done repeatedly, and with TfL repeatedly could be twice, maybe 3 times, but either way, if you do it more than once, they're going to fucking have you for it. They want to try and either make an example or try and make money out of every other road user by saying, if you cross into the solid white line, you are going to get stung with a £160 fine. And this is solely governed by TfL, by the way, and in some cases these powers are actually being extended to local boroughs outside of London to trial for the next 6 months to see whether or not they can improve their revenue. And yeah, no, sorry, that's bollocks. If TfL want to get their hands on £160 of my hard-earned money because I've had to go into the cycle lane to get around a vehicle, or to filter past a bus, or to filter past slow-moving traffic, Sadiq Khan, I said it once before in a previous video and I'll say it again, boss, you are a dickhead. You will not get a penny out of me. I will make every kind of excuse under the sun to not pay your fucking fines. TfL cannot expect every normal road user like myself, like, you know, tradespeople and whatever else, to pay £160 in fines if they cross over into the white line for a cycle lane. Now obviously, if the lane is actually cordoned off like these lanes are here, if you can see ahead of me, they've got the barriers up or along the actual cycle lane itself, you know, that's fine, that's cool. If you go into that, then, you know, it sucks to be you, you deserve to get a fine. However, if the lane is not a solid white line, i.e. like the junction just ahead of me, which we're going to pass in a second, you will not get a £160 fine. But apparently, if you cross into the white line repeatedly, like I said, that could be once, twice, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, depending on what TfL want to call repeatedly, you could be facing a £160 fine, my friends. Not just a cursory warning, not a letter in the post, not a phone call by your local MP or whatever. If you go into the cycle lane when there's a solid white line, I mean, I don't know how they're supposed to disprove this bit here, because there is no solid white line. There is a cycle lane, but there's no white line dividing it from the rest of the road users, so how the fuck do you work that one out? So once again, TfL and Sadiq Khan, you absolute money-grabbing bastards. I don't see why we should have to pay for cyclists, you know, I don't see why we should have to pay for their you know, their luxury, shall we say. I'm not being funny, but these fuckers jump red lights. They cycle 3 or 4 abreast in built-up areas. Outside where my stepdaughter goes to school, for example, they have a dedicated cycle lane, but half the fuckers that cycle down that road don't even use the cycle lane. So, you know, what is the point of fining people for being in the cycle lane when the absolute divvy cunts don't use it? And I know people are going to say in the comments, or, you know, going to respond to this video saying, oh Lee, you're being a bit over the top, you're being melodramatic, blah 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 blah. Nah, I'm not. If you are a cyclist, whether you follow my videos, enjoy my videos, or you don't, if you don't like my opinion, then, you know, it sucks to be you. But I'm literally voicing my opinion for the sake of others. And if you are a cyclist and you think it's okay for other motorists to be fined £160 for invading your dedicated cycle lane that you do not use, then fuck off. Just straight up fuck off. That might sound a bit harsh, that might sound a bit narrow-minded and a bit rude, but it's my opinion, like it or lump it. If your cycle lane is like this lane here, you know, it's a solid white line and you've got the barriers keeping you separated from the rest of the traffic, if someone goes into the lane then fine, they deserve to get fined and, you know, punished and points and whatever else, you know, they deserve it. However, if there is no white line separating the two lanes, one from the other, then at what point can you differentiate one lane from the next? But yeah, no, I'm sorry, but I know I'm a bit outspoken when it comes to things like cyclists and moped riders, and I know obviously I don't like them, and I have good fucking reason to not like them. And on top of that, with all these new fucking laws that have come out to supposedly, in inverted commas, protect cyclists, I think it's ridiculous. And like I've said before, I've seen cyclists go through red lights, blow through box junctions, riding 3, 4, 5 abreast when they really shouldn't be, but lo and behold, they can get away with it. And yet you get people like me who sometimes goes out on group rides, and when we ride 2 abreast, we get accused of being unruly, we get accused of being antisocial and whatever else. It's all well and good saying that we're being antisocial, but yet cyclists are doing exactly the fucking same. It's like, for example, this guy here, rude boy, you're sitting in a parking space. Get off the road if you want to get on your phone. I'm sorry, ladies and gents, this video is actually a massive rant about cyclists, but I want to try and get my point across. I understand that people cycle to work, and I understand people cycle for recreation and for, you know, health benefits and exercise and whatever fucking else. I get that, I really, really do. But what bugs me is when you see a group of 40-year-old fat men in Lycra that ride 3 or 4, 5 abreast. They don't yield to other road users. They'd go blowing through this red light, for example, not giving an absolute flying fuck about anyone else, and yet every road user, every fucking paying road user, may I add, has to deal with it. And I'm sorry, but no, that's bollocks. I don't like it, and I think it's ridiculous. But once again, the Mayor of London has fucked everyone over by giving these people these powers, and on top of that, we'll have, you know, road cyclists using the roads like their own personal racetracks, and you know, it will come a point where cyclists will be literally the outlaws of the road. And like I've just said, I understand that people cycle to work because they've got no other choice. I understand people cycle for, you know, exercise and recreation. I mean, it's like that. Why did she feel the need to overtake the other cyclists? What's the matter? She's going too slow for you, you're saying? But it just fucking bugs me, it really does. Half the things that cyclists do, if you were an actual paying road user, you would get the fucking book thrown at you. For example, I'm sitting at the traffic lights, and okay, fine, I am a little bit ahead of the line. But if you're a cyclist and you go blowing through this light without giving an absolute flying fuck about anyone else, you won't get fined, you won't get pulled over, you won't get spoken to by the police or a traffic warden or no one. It's like, look, see what I mean? Exact fucking prime example. She's just gone, you know, blowing through this fucking red light. Who's to say something wasn't going to come across that junction there and absolutely smash the shit out of her? That sounded wrong, but you get what I mean. Cyclists have their way with absolutely fucking everything. I can't state this enough. I understand that people use cycling as a form of transport and they use it for recreation and exercise. I get that. But when you are taking the absolute piss out of every other road user just because you can go through red lights, you don't have to stop at box junctions, you get away with fucking blue murder, and, you know, nothing gets said, nothing gets done. If you've got a number plate, you're expected to obey traffic signals, obey the rules of the road, and if your vehicle's got a motor in it, you're expected to pay tax, insurance, pay for fuel, obviously. But just because you're on a push bike doesn't mean to say you can get away with not having to pay, you know, road tax or something like that. There should be some sort of tax for push bikes. If you're on a bicycle and you use the public roads, you should be made to pay some kind of charge or some kind of tax to be on the road. And again, that might sound harsh, but I don't give a fuck. If you ride a push bike in central London or even outside of central London, you should be made to pay some kind of road tax or some kind of road service charge or something to make it safe and legal for you to be on the road. Because I guarantee you, about 80% of the people that I've come across this week alone that ride push bikes do not obey the road rules and do not even know the highway code and do not have the basic common sense that when the light turns red, you fucking stop. And that's exactly what a lot of cyclists don't do. And then they wonder why they get hit and they're the first ones to fucking moan. Oh, look what you've done to my bicycle. You've broke my wheel. I'm going to take you to court so I can get a new bicycle out of you. It's like, nah, fuck off. If you're going to wear Lycra and act like a dickhead, you deserve to be treated like it. Do you know what I mean? There's no two ways about it. If you were going to use the public highways like every other road user, whether you've got a motor or not, you should have to pay some kind of service charge to be on the road like the rest of us. But no, once again, the fucking eco-warriors get their own way. The Lycra-clad lunatics of this country somehow manage to get what they want out of the government, but you won't pay a simple £15, £20 a year service charge to be on the roads. I mean, motorcyclists have to pay something like £86 a year in road tax. Obviously, it does differ from one size bike to the next in terms of, you know, the CC. But generally, cars like normal family saloons have to pay like £100 a year on road tax. What is wrong with cyclists paying 30, 40, 50 quid a year to be on the public roads just like the rest of us? Oh wait, they won't agree to that because they think, oh, I don't see why I should do that. I don't have an engine, I don't cause pollution, so why should I pay the road tax? Well, maybe because you're a dickhead. Well, no, that won't be the actual the actual line that people should be told. It should be more like, well, you are using the public highway and you are actually contributing to the actual congestion, even though you do not have a motor in your bicycle, but you're still actually creating congestion because you fuckers like to ride 3, 4, 5 abreast on a Sunday morning and fuck everyone's day up. You try and tell that to these people in the nicest possible way. If you want to use the public highways and you want to use the public roads, then you need to pay some kind of charge. They'll be up in arms and they'll be fucking protesting outside Downing Street and outside Buckingham Palace and every other place these fucking assholes like to get to, just because they're being told that they have to pay some kind of charge to use the public highway. I mean, all these car drivers and me and tradesmen and whatever else and couriers and delivery drivers, we all have to pay our way on the roads. You know, we have to pay road tax, we have to pay insurance, we have to pay for fuel, which right now is fucking extortionate, by the way, just like to add. And you get these cyclists that think they're so fucking better than everyone else, and they're so entitled to cycle down the middle of the road or cycle outside the cycle lane where they're supposed to be and ride 3, 4, 5 abreast, like I've already said countless times. It's things like that that fuck me off about cyclists, and they blow through red lights like there's no tomorrow. I see it time and time and time again. It's like, nah. If you're going to behave like a cunt, then you deserve to be treated like one. And that's pretty much how I feel about all these dickhead cyclists that cycle, like for example on a Saturday or Sunday morning. You don't see these cunts on the road any other time of the week other than the weekends. And they're always cycling in groups of like 10, 15, 20. And these fuckers are like bloody parasites, and there's absolutely fuck all you can do about it, because if you start giving them grief, you get told, oh no, you're causing a disturbance, you're doing this, you're doing that, blah 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 blah. But if they hit you, say for example if you're leaving a box junction and they hit you, they've got no insurance to cover it. You have to claim on your own insurance, lose your no claims discount because these dickheads on push bikes. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, I think this £160 fine for being in the cycle lane is fucking stupid, and that's where I'm going to leave it. So if you want to hear any more, or if you've got any questions regarding this particular charge, or if you'd like me to dig out any more information regarding it, please feel free to let me know in the comments box down below, and I will do my best to find out as much information as I can. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. If you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. It'd be great to have you on board. And if you are already subscribed, don't forget to smash the like button and ring the bell so you're kept up to date with all new content when it drops. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you have been awesome. I have been Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, saying look after yourselves, look after each other, stay safe on the roads, be aware of COVID-19, be safe, be happy, and as always, adios!